In the deep dark hills of eastern Kentucky, some of the views you get out here are just unbelievable. All right, guys, welcome to Pikeville. We made it, and I'm glad we made it because I was getting kind of sleepy there on the road. But we're here, and I'm staying in a little motel, and I haven't even seen the room yet, so I want to do the big reveal with you guys. Let's see what we got here. All right, get ready. 3, 2, 1. Ta-da! Well, it smells good in here. Very fresh and clean smell. Kind of like Lysol. How are we looking in the bathroom? Okay. Yeah, not a bad little room. Can't complain. Yep, this is where I'm crashing here in Pikeville. The Daniel Boone Motor Inn. A simple but decent little place. Up we go! Oh yeah! The big reveal. What you are looking at is the second largest earth-moving project in the Western Hemisphere, second only to the Panama Canal. And guys, this didn't used to look like this. This was a man-made project, and in order to complete this, approximately 18 million cubic yards of earth were moved, thus creating space for what you see in front of you right now. They also did this for purposes of flood prevention. Now, the project was started sometime around 1980 and was finished in 1987. And you know what's so crazy about it is Pikeville, or I'm gonna say Pikeville in this video because that's pretty much how the locals say it. This is a pretty small place. And yes, like the rest of Appalachia, as the coal industry saw a sharp decline, so too did the fortunes of this town. But at no point was this a massive place. So to think that something on this scale was completed down here in southeastern Kentucky, down here in Appalachia, you know, the land of the hillbillies, as some people say. And I say that in a joking way. I actually love this region. But for a project of this scale to be done out here in Pikeville, Kentucky, it just blows your mind. You would not think that the second largest earth-moving project in the Western Hemisphere, second again only to the Panama Canal, was done right here. I could honestly just stand up here for a long time just observing this, and not just the highways and all that stuff. I mean just the nature, the mountains around here, just this scene. It's just beautiful. And guys, I'm starting to hear raindrops. That's not good. Let's get back to the car. Well, I was driving down the road heading for central Pikeville, driving alongside this river. Beautiful view. I mean, just everywhere you look, it's just beautiful around here. But I saw this bridge. This thing is epic. Oh, I think I saw a sign on it that says temporarily closed. Man, well, that's not good. I will at least let you guys take a look at it. This will be fun. All right, now we're down here in central Pikeville, and check that sign out. Historic McCoy house. Now, some of you all are already gonna know, but some of you probably won't. But you've all heard of the Hatfields and McCoys. Well, a lot of that story took place right here. And in fact, the McCoy household is just right around this corner. Well, here you go, guys. The McCoy house. After the Hatfields burned the McCoy home on January 1st, 1888, Randolph and Sarah McCoy never returned to Blackberry Creek. The governors of Kentucky and West Virginia urged them to move away from each other, and they purchased this house near the riverbank on East Main Street. Well, this is the 8th stop on my grand Appalachian tour. Each town has its own feel. Of course, they all have similarities. I mean, the one thing is they're all like 200 years old, all the places that I've been to. But some are tiny, some look kind of abandoned, and then some look surprisingly nice. Like Harlan, for example, that looked surprisingly nice. And Pikeville, so far, During my trip out here in Appalachia, of the 8 places I've been, I'm tempted to call this place the gem of Appalachia, because this place feels like it's doing quite well. I mean, of course, it took a huge hit due to the decline of the coal industry. But that being said, it still looks like it's doing quite well. Nice homes, lots of businesses, nice looking infrastructure, a lot of nice vehicles around. Everything is kept up really well, very nicely maintained. Good restaurant selection. So for me to say that I'm impressed by Pikeville, that would be a big understatement. This is way nicer than I expected, and by any standard, this is a nice area. It's a beautiful area surrounded by mountains. It keeps the simplicity of a small town feel. The locals are nice. Not a whole lot of BS or pretense around here. I'm just loving it down here, guys. If you get the chance, you might want to consider a visit. Hey, just saying, just saying. All right, looks like we're coming up on what appears to be probably the main road running through town, or at least maybe historically the main road running through town. It's definitely got that old timesy kind of feel to it. All right, here we go, guys. Feels like we stepped through a time warp and we got whisked away to the early 1900s. Just try to imagine what this would have looked like in its heyday when every place was filled. Probably shops on the bottom, probably some apartments up top. There was hustle and bustle everywhere. We got a little daylight left. Might as well make the most of it. Let's check out the city park right here, Pikeville City Park. Looks like a quaint little clean park. See some people over there playing and hanging out. Oh, just some kids at the playground. That's a nice little park. Small right here in the heart of town, but very clean. You got tables, hang out here with your friends, have a coffee. All the locals, because they all know each other, they could sit and probably gossip about each other. Yeah, this is actually a really good park. They've got lots of benches, lots of tables. It looks like a really fun play area for kids. I mean, you got that there and that over there, so that would be like a heaven for kids. Vending machines, just pristine, not a piece of trash anywhere. Everything's in great condition. And then you look back in the distance and you've got amazing natural scenery. You're surrounded by mountains. Yeah, good job, Pikeville. What can I say? I'm impressed. And does my opinion really count? Well, I guess it depends who you ask, but I can say that I've been to a lot of places and a lot of countries, been to a lot of towns, a lot of cities. So I guess that gives me some perspective. Do you know what you're looking at straight ahead? I mean, it says it, but it's probably kind of hard to see on the screen. University of Pikeville, UPike. This brings in quite a few students, and one thing that might surprise you is that they have a really good medical department, and I think their main thing is osteopathy. But I mean, look at this. When people talk about Appalachia, this isn't what you would imagine, is it? Great facilities, clean, modern. I mean, it's got the old quarter there as well, but I mean, this is modern, this is nice. Paul Patton. Guy's got quite a resume, doesn't he? They take care of stuff out here. You listen in New York, you listen in Chicago, you listen in San Francisco. Nice cities, but no leadership. All right, now we're at UPike. So I say you hike at UPike. And there's a lot of stairs here. And we heading all the way up, baby. All right, we're just about to make it. Woo! My goodness. Goodness gracious. Now time for the payoff. With a staircase like this, there would be no excuse to have any overweight students at UPike. It's a nice looking campus. Very nice. Peaceful, wide open. Deadly stairway, but great exercise opportunity, a mandatory exercise opportunity. They probably got elevators and stuff the students know about to skip that daily workout. But yeah, check this out. There's a restaurant up there in the corner. Looks like it would be a pretty good place, restaurant with a bar in it. I've seen a couple restaurants, but most places are closed because it's a holiday weekend. Of course, on the outskirts of Pikeville, I saw a whole lot of fast food. Hardee's, Taco Bell, McDonald's, they'll all be open. But it's the local places, the places that I want to eat, that are closed. It is raining, so this works out nicely. Umbrella Alley. What are we going to see on the other side here?
Hi, you are currently being recorded.
Oh, a camera that said, "Hi, you are currently being recorded." Okay, thanks. Good to know. Man, When they say public holiday in Pikeville, they ain't playing. Everybody closes down. Well, good morning, guys. Day 2 here in Pikeville. I woke up this morning feeling like ass. You know those days when you wake up and you don't feel rested at all? Well, that was me this morning. Let's see what's going on outside. Let's see what kind of day it is here in beautiful Pikeville. Still here at the Daniel Boone Motor Inn. I hear the birds chirping. Don't see a soul out here. The air smells fresh. Hey, not a bad start to the day. All right, guys, day 2 in Pikeville. Here we are, best restaurant in town, McDonald's. Now, obviously, I'm just joking around, but I've had kind of an interesting food experience here in Pikeville because all the good restaurants in town are closed due to the holiday. So last night, I figured while I'm here in the U.S., I kind of wanted to have Taco Bell just once, just for that good old greasy flavor. So I stopped by a Taco Bell last night. Actually, I passed up getting a steak at a Texas Roadhouse because I thought, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day. Let me just swing over here to Taco Bell. Well, here's the kicker, guys. So when I got to Taco Bell, I placed my order at 9:03 p.m. and I started waiting, and I could tell, okay, things are not gonna go very smoothly here. It's gonna take a long time. While I was waiting, I saw other customers complaining about their order being wrong. It seemed like things were just not working out. So just out of curiosity, you know, usually I probably wouldn't have been quite so patient, but just out of curiosity, I said, you know what? I'm just gonna see how long this actually takes. I mean, I found the whole thing kind of entertaining. I wasn't in like a big hurry or anything. So I waited and waited and waited. And finally, after waiting 50 minutes, that's a 5-0, I said, I gotta get some sleep tonight. I gotta eat something at some point. Other restaurants are gonna end up closing if I don't do something soon. So I finally politely requested a refund right around 10 p.m. I wish I would have filmed the whole thing because it was just, most people would have been pissed, but I found the whole thing hilarious. And it turns out they were training some new workers there at Taco Bell. That's why things were going so slow. So then I ended up swinging over to Buffalo Wild Wings, another chain restaurant, not a place I would usually pick. Had a decent little meal there, got talking to the waiter, a local guy, and let's just say I got into the vodka and OJ last night, and my man was making them pretty stout. So this morning I've got some running around to do. You know, pretty much the only restaurants open are gonna be like fast food or chain restaurants. So here we are at the Golden Arches getting another gourmet meal. All right, guys. Now, hey, you know, I'm based in China. They've got McDonald's in China, but they don't have this, okay? They don't have buffalo sauce. McDonald's buffalo sauce is freaking heavenly. So yeah, this is what I've got. A burger, nuggets, fries, and a coffee. Let me show you guys this. You might hear some lip smacking going on, but I could drink this shit, literally. That's how good it is. Telling you, if you know, you know. Man, the natural beauty out here just keeps coming. Just cruising down the highway. Look at this. Those moments. All right, guys, we're out here we're kind of on the outskirts of Pikeville. You can see there's a real nice little strip mall here, and on the other side of that, there's a bunch of other restaurants and shops. Like, it's a nice looking area. So I was actually really surprised to see this area out here in Pikeville. And it's not right in the heart of town, but just out of it. And man, what a journey it's been. What an epic adventure it's been through Appalachia. I planned to hit 8 places. I ended up making 9 stops on this journey. And each place was unique, interesting. I met nice, interesting people in every place, and I've had a hell of a time. But we're gonna finish up this trip. I'm gonna treat myself to a big, fat, juicy steak tonight over here at Texas Roadhouse. I think I've earned it, guys. What do you think? So let's go in here and get ready to feast. So they got a pretty good crowd in here tonight. They got 3 hostesses over there. But yeah, got a pretty decent crowd. Whoa, look at that raccoon. I'm gonna chill up here at the bar. Let's zoom in on them. Yeah, being that we're in Kentucky, I had to get the local ale. And this one is actually brewed right here in Pikeville. And I believe the brewing company is Dueling Barrels. And let me get a view of this the tap here so I don't screw it up. Kentucky Vanilla Barrel Cream Ale. So let's see how this bad boy tastes. That's very tasty. Good choice, good choice. I had to ask the server slash bartender how many people are saying that he looks like Zach Top, because he really does look like him. Nobody in his right mind would have left her. All right, so like I said, I decided to splurge on my final dinner here in Appalachia. I've got a 12-ounce ribeye, loaded baked potato, green beans, rolls, and a big beer, and that's not gonna be the only one. I'm determined to finish it no matter how bad I feel. Well, believe it or not, I polished off that dinner, and this is the second beer, and these things are good, but they're not cheap. Well, after that massive steak dinner, I'm feeling kind of sick right now. It was delicious, but I overate, as I knew I would. But while I was eating, I met, I would say, probably the coolest couple in Pikeville.
That's right.
You know, a lot of people around here have been telling me that there was a really bad flood this year, and you all were here, you experienced it. So I wanted to just ask, you know, what was that like? You know, I guess you could start.
In February of this year, 2025, much of this greater Appalachian region was hit by severe flooding. Pikeville was hit very hard by the floods, with several people losing their lives and tens of millions of dollars in damages. To complicate matters further, just after the floods came, a snap of winter weather hit the area, making things even harder and further delaying power restoration for many.
Yeah, well, it affected my house pretty bad. My neighborhood, it was once a lake, it turned back into a lake. So it was really awful. A lot of businesses, a lot of houses were affected, and our economy isn't the best in the first place. So that really like shook our world up, and it happened so fast. Nobody ever expected it. But there was something amazing that came out of it. The community came together, churches, people came in from all over America to come help us and everything. So it was really great to see that part of it, and that's what I love most about living here is the community. They always show up, they pull together. We get through everything together, really.
Yeah, there was so many great people that stopped by. People dropped off gift cards, they brought food, they gave money, any supplies, cleaning supplies, things like that. Even just like our university we go to, a couple days after the flood happened, we had junk pretty much kind of piled up that we had to get rid of because it got flooded. And there was almost, I'd say there was 50 people from the university that stopped by just with all those hands and moved the junk out into dumpsters, which took a huge load off of our back trying to fix her basement. So yeah, the community's great.
Yeah, and so you all are locals here, right?
Yep.
Yeah, born and raised.
For people that are in your age group, like roughly how old are you all?
I'm 22.
21.
Okay, so you're in your early 20s. What do people around your age usually do here in Pikeville for fun? Let's keep it family friendly.
Yeah,
here.
we'll keep it. There's the biggest thing around here, I would say, would be riding, like going mudding, riding, like side-by-sides, four-wheelers. There's also a lot of fishing, hunting, really anything outdoor. A lot of people spend time with family too. Like you're always at with family from here.
Awesome. Well, Tyler, right?
Yep, Tyler.
It was really great to meet you tonight, man. And your girlfriend's name is? Kylie, nice to meet you too.
You too.
I've had a great time here in Appalachia. This is like the last segment I'm recording here. It's been memorable. It's been an epic experience. And I'm ending it here with you two tonight. Tomorrow morning, I'm out of here bright and early. So pleasure to meet you all.
Yep, thank you.
Good morning, guys. That was my last sleep here in Appalachia on this basically week-long tour. Well, it's about 6 a.m. and I'm just getting up. I've got to drag my butt out of bed. I'm feeling kind of groggy, but it's not anything that a nice hot shower and a hot cup of coffee won't fix. Let's see what kind of weather we're looking at today. Well, it's a nice brisk morning. You can tell we had some rain last night. Look at that fog over there in the mountains. That's beautiful. All right, highway, here we come, baby. And look at all that fog in the mountains. What a sight. That's pretty. Well, I dropped back by McDonald's this morning just for coffee and a little snack for the road. But actually the main reason I came in here is because yesterday I met this elderly lady in here named Edna. And she reminded me so much of my late grandma. She was so sweet. She was like an angel. And I was hoping she'd be in here because I didn't get her on video yesterday. I knew she wouldn't be comfortable, but I should have at least, you know, got a little clip of her, just got her smiling. But I was hoping she'd be in here and I wanted to give her a hug before I went. So I got my food. The waitress remembered me from yesterday and she's real close to that lady Edna. So I dropped by. I figured the next best thing would be to write her a little note just to let her know I didn't forget about her. And this weird guy with a camera is thinking about her. Well, hopefully that'll bring a smile to her face. She's in her mid-80s and she's lost her whole family. She comes in here like all the time. So I think this will do the trick. I just want to bring a smile to her face. After 8 stops in Appalachia, visiting little towns scattered throughout this mountainous region, I have fallen in love with this area.
I've always been a nature lover, and I'm more of a mountain and river man than I am a beach person. Mountains have always attracted me, and their beauty comforts me. It never gets old. On top of that, out here in this highly neglected region, there are families and tight-knit communities all throughout. They hold on to the traditional values that I, too, treasure. Values that if the entire country had, we'd be living in a modern-day American golden era. In this region, family values rule. Men are men and women are women, and they are comfortable in their roles. There ain't no confusion about it out there. They take pride in their towns. Hell, even after being swallowed up by a flood just months prior, they've already largely restored the towns and got everything spick and span. This is generally considered America's poorest region. But isn't it kind of funny how it's also one of America's cleanest and friendliest regions? They take pride in their country and they represent true American values and the true American spirit. They fly their flags high, and trust me, bud, you wouldn't want to be the sorry soul that told them they had to take that flag down. Now, I don't come from those mountains and hollers, but in a way, I kind of feel like I'm home when I'm there. Who knows, maybe one of these days, it will be home. I want to give an extra special thanks to all of my YouTube members and Patreon supporters for their help in keeping this channel financially sustainable. A huge thank you to all supporters from the $1 tier on up through the higher tiers. I want to give an extra special acknowledgement to my PCO tier members. And lastly, a huge shout out to my top tier supporters. Lee, Martin S., David is Dawei, and 有爱心的外国人. Oh, and just so you know, you guys rock.
What do you look for beyond the sea, grasshopper?